In 1939, the world stood on the edge of a storm that few could imagine, and none could stop. When Germany invaded Poland, it triggered a chain reaction that pulled nearly every nation into a conflict that would become the deadliest war in human history. Britain and France declared war, and soon Europe was ablaze. The German army swept across the continent with terrifying speed, conquering Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, and finally France. In just months, nations that had stood for centuries collapsed, and by 1940, only Britain remained defiant, standing alone against the Axis powers. Across the skies of London, bombs fell night after night, but the British spirit endured, and the Blitz failed to break them. Then in 1941, Adolf Hitler made his most ambitious and fatal decision, launching Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. At the same time, in the Pacific, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, bringing the United States into the war. In a single year, the conflict truly became global. Battles raged on every front. Deserts in Africa, frozen fields in Russia, and the endless seas of the Pacific. The world was on fire. By 1942, the tide began to turn. In the Soviet Union, the brutal Battle of Stalingrad marked the first great defeat for Hitler's armies. Millions of lives were lost, but the Red Army pushed the invaders back. In North Africa, the Allies won at El Alamein, forcing the Germans into retreat. And in the Pacific, after the Battle of Midway, the Japanese fleet was crippled, and America began its island-hopping campaign. As the years went on, the Allies gained strength. In 1944, one of the most daring operations of the war unfolded, D-Day. Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, opening a western front against Germany. The pressure from both east and west crushed the Nazi war machine. Town after town, country after country was liberated, and Hitler's dream of empire collapsed into ruin. By 1945, it was over. Hitler took his own life in his bunker as Soviet forces entered Berlin. Germany surrendered unconditionally, but the war did not end there. In the Pacific, Japan fought desperately, refusing to surrender despite catastrophic losses. Then, in August 1945, the world saw a new horror: the atomic bomb. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were devastated, and within days, Japan surrendered. World War II ended, but it left behind a scar unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Tens of millions were dead, cities were in ruins, and entire nations were reshaped. From its ashes rose a new world order, one divided between East and West. Beginning the Cold War, the Second World War had lasted only 6 years, but it changed history forever.